Hey everyone, we're going to take a moment to talk about Neofinetia falcata, or Vanda falcata if you're keeping up with current taxonomy, although I've known most purists to not want to call it anything but Neofinetia falcata. It's now June, and this is a good time to take a look at Neofinetia falcata because this is when they spike, typically. The peak bloom season is in about mid-July. You'll see a few things blooming early here. This is a typical white flower Neofinetia. They're very fragrant both day and night, more so at night. But if you take any plant out here right now and just pick it up, if we look close towards the base of one of the larger growths, you'll see the beginning of flower spikes. That's typical for June. It's only a short month for these to develop into buds and blossom out. You'll also notice that we're now growing most of our plants in this different mix. Typically we've been growing them the traditional New Zealand sphagnum moss mound method, but now I'm using a combination of orchiata bark, charcoal, and growstone. The only reason we switched to this method is that production-wise it's much faster to pot them this way, and this product lasts longer, breaks down slower than moss. Now, if you'd like to receive a Neofinetia in the moss mound, simply request it in the special instructions field when you order online, or call us or email us, and we'll go ahead and switch your plants from bark to moss. There won't be any shock for the plant to go from bark to moss. Roots will still develop fine, the flowers will still develop and flower. So, there's no fear of transplanting during the growing or blooming season. Generally starting in March and all throughout the summer and fall is active root growth season for the Neofinetia. One of the traits the Japanese look at are different colored root tips. So we'll go over a few here. This variety is called Jukai, and it's basically an albino Neofinetia. There's no red pigment in the growth at all, therefore the roots come out pure green, just white and green. The Japanese call that aone, which literally translated means blue root, but that word is also used for green. Here we have a muddy colored root. It's kind of a brownish reddish combination, and any of the root tips that are not pure green generally come from a plant that has an axis that has red pigment in it. So here you have kind of a brownish pigment to it, and that's exactly what's reflected in the root system. Now here we have what the Japanese call rubine, or ruby colored roots. It's one of the most popular and desirable root colors because it looks kind of ruby red. And if you look at the axis of these plants, they're a bit more dark than the previous plant. And generally the darker the axis, often the more colorful or dark the root tip turns out. We're going to go ahead and make a follow-up video in July so that you can see all of these in their full bloom. It's really quite a sight, and the fragrance is quite wonderful as well. So whether you're into Neofinetia and you're collecting them, or if you're a beginner, you've never tried them before, this is an excellent time of the year to look at these plants, and it's a very easy variety to grow if you're into growing orchids in general or you like the Vandaceous group of orchids.